Fushido, a Japanese word, translated means immovable mind and heart. December 17, 1996, the Japanese ambassador to Peru was having an evening Christmas party. These are no good cheer as the revelers toasted each other, garbed in gowns, suits, and other formal evening wear. The foreign ministers, diplomats, and general VIPs and their spouses basked in the light and warmth of fellowship and bounty at the gala event. All the music, dancing, laughter, and chuckles came to an abrupt halt when there was a large explosion, followed by gunshots. On the floor! Now, everybody on the floor! Tupac Amaru and 14 guerrillas seized the ambassador's compound. They ordered everyone to get on the ground. Now, more shots were fired into the air, the means of getting the crowd to comply. Everyone started getting to the ground and laying down. Everyone started sitting, laying on their stomachs and getting down. Everyone down, came the snarled command. And don't raise your heads unless you want it shot off. Screams were nearing hysteria. Silence! More shots were fired at the ceiling in an attempt to silence the crowd. When the shots and the shouts subsided, only thing that could be heard was light sobs. Fatigue-clad men glared ominously over the crowd, leveled their weapons. Over 400 guests, now captives. Tupac was surprised at the sight of one VIP remained standing, visibly unshaken by the violent infiltration. A rebel moved closer, shoving the still warm barrel of his gun towards his face and asked, "Who are you?" This man, who had refused to lay down on the ground, faced the gun barrel and gazed without flinching. "I am the Japanese ambassador. This is my residence, and these are my guests, and they are unarmed. You will respect them and cause them no harm." Awed, the guerrilla leader, Tupac, his eyes widened, and for a brief moment his finger tightened on the trigger of his pistol. Bold themselves, the guerrillas could admire grudgingly the courage of this captor. The rebel leader nodded. "All right, no one will be harmed." The guns were lowered, and an audible sigh spread among the hostages. The Peru police quickly surrounded the compound. Tupac and his men had taken 490 hostages. On the first day, that first night, 170 women and elderly guests were released, and they declared they would kill the remaining 220 if their demands were not met. The Tupac Amaru Revolutionary Movement, better known as MRTA, was founded in 1984 as a militant organization dedicated to communist revolution in Peru. Tupac and his guerrillas requested that 400 of the MRTA members that were imprisoned in Peru be released. This was their demands. After a couple of days of this standoff, all but 72 hostages were released. The 72 remaining would be held until their demands were met. Of the 72 remaining hostages, there was the president of Peru's brother, foreign ministers, Supreme Court judges, members of the ruling party, and a number of foreign ambassadors from Japan and elsewhere. Tupac and his guerrillas held 72 hostages for 4 months, with their demands not being met. President of Peru, Fujimori, was known for taking a hard-time stance against leftist guerrillas in Peru and did not give in to the key points of the rebels' demands. And in April of 1997, he ordered an assault on the complex by a 140-man special force team. It's not exactly said how they did it, but the hostages were warned 10 minutes before the attack. The Special Forces team set off a blast in a tunnel underneath the building, which surprised the rebels and killed 8 of the 14 immediately. The rest of the elite soldiers attacked from several other directions, overwhelming the remaining terrorists. All 14 rebels were killed in the assault, including the leader. Only one hostage was killed during the raid. Supreme Court Justice Carlos Gusti was killed in the attack. Several soldiers became wounded during the rescue operation. 2 later died from their injuries. After it was all over, the press had gotten hold of the story of how the Japanese ambassador had stood during the whole attack of the guerrillas and even putting a gun to his face. This was Fushido, the immovable mind and heart.